What's going on? My name is Tyler Roicki and welcome to my vlog. This is gonna be a new series and a lot of it's just gonna be what's on my mind as I'm building and really documenting my journey. That's the number one thing. Is from here on out, you're gonna be seeing and hearing more from me. This is gonna be super off the cuff, unedited. Usually I'll have a thing or two on my mind that I wanna share with you. And today it's that everyone starts somewhere. That's the biggest message and thing I want you to take home from this one, which is start where you're at. And for me, that's right here, right now. I've had some inspiration as to why I should start documenting more of what it is I'm doing, how I'm going about it. And I'll say first and foremost, who this is for those of you who have come across me on the journey at some point. Maybe it was through cars, maybe it was through real estate. Maybe it's because we've connected, or maybe we never have, at least yet so far. But regardless, if you resonate with anything I've done, maybe it was, like I said, through my car content, maybe it was a Porsche, maybe it was a Corvette, whatever the case is, there's more in store for the future, that's for one. But I want to share more about what it is I'm doing, where it is I'm going from this point onward. And I want to take you on that journey with me. That leads me to what to expect for the future. I'm going to share strategies and insights, really what I'm doing in my business. I'd say day to day, it might be a more week to week basis. And some of it's going to be just a lot of insight and detail and stuff that I feel like a lot of other people might not even put out there to share, but I'm going to be doing more of that here in the future. And the biggest thing I want you to take away from it right here, right now is to get more clarity. I want you watching to think and get more clarity on what it is that you want out of your life and what you want your future to look like, and whatever that is, to get started on it right now. Because there isn't a perfect time. There isn't perfect conditions. And if you wait too long for conditions to be perfect, you've got a limited number of all the days that you could even possibly work with, because very far and few in between are gonna be ideal. A lot of days, you're just not gonna be feeling like doing what you know it is you need to do. You're not gonna be feeling your best energy level. You're gonna be tired. You're gonna be having to deal with challenges and obstacles that come up throughout the day that you weren't even expecting or hoping that would be there. It wasn't even a variable or factor when you planned out your whole day, but guess what? It's something that came up. So what are you gonna do about it? That's more days than not. More days than not, you're dealing with challenges, you're dealing with obstacles, things that you would rather not even have to face in the journey. But nonetheless, it's facing you, and the only thing you have to control and decide is how you respond to it. Someone I've looked up to and learned a lot, his name's Ed Milet. I've learned that from him that it's not the events in our life, it's not what happens to us that defines us, but it's how we respond to those events in our lives that does define, who we end up becoming in the process. So a lot of these events, a lot of the things that happen, a lot of the obstacles, we can look at it as an obstacle. We can look at it as this thing that sucks that we have to overcome, or we could look at, what do we have to gain out of this? And we can focus on that element of it, because there is something to that with the hard things we got to deal with on a day-to-day basis as we're growing and progressing towards our goals. So what I want to also kind of pinpoint is, where you see today isn't where I started. This is a journey I've been on. What I do in real estate, it's something that I've been at coming up on my 10th year. Effectively this spring going into the summer, it will be my 10th year really putting my best foot forward with this real estate journey. And most people who get started on this journey in real estate, they couldn't say the same thing, because most people, they stopped at some point. And a lot of people stopped that first year in the business. There's some crazy stats in the industry. 87% of real estate agents newly licensed are not around in the business 5 years later. What a lot of people don't realize though is that 2 years in, your typical real estate agent makes $8,800. It's not a journey that everyone is cut out for. A lot of people, if you're the kind of person that has a mindset, maybe you don't realize it, but if you need someone else to tell you what to do, entrepreneurship and business ownership might not be the avenue. It's been glorified a lot. I think a lot of people have bought into it who really, they'd be happier if they were in a position where they had someone else calling their own shots. And so I'm not here to put that down, but I just want to say, if you aspire for more in your life, then there might be something in what I share here with you on the channel that speaks to that. And so I'm here for those of you who I can add some value to. And maybe you'll never be an entrepreneur, but you like the cars, and there might be some element of what I'm doing and sharing in the future that, you know, maybe it's not the entrepreneurial thing or business ownership, but maybe it's something on the investment side of the business that I'm doing that you kind of gravitate towards, or maybe you just love the cars, right? And so that's what this channel is here for. That's what the vlog style contents are for. Contents, right? This is off the cuff, I'm not cutting that out. But, you know, I'm gonna be sharing with you just, I might be on the move in a car. I was hoping to do that today. I just didn't get out of my house. Just been here on Zoom calls, talking to different people. And for those of you who are curious, like, what does my day look like? I'm in real estate, but I'm not out meeting with buyers, sellers every single day. Most of what I do is on the agent facing side of the business. I'm helping people build careers. I'm helping people level up their careers. You know, I'm helping real estate agents who want to double their business actually get a plan in place to do it this year. And I'm helping, very practically speaking, with lead sources, with systems, with building leverage into their business. So how can you take a business that's repeat and referral based, and how can you scale that up with systems to predictably generate more buyer and seller opportunities? For some people, it's literally launching their career. How can you launch a career and effectively be on track to earn six figures your first year in real estate? And if not your first, and honestly, it's not about whether you do that or not your first year in real estate. It's about, are you on track to grow and progress towards your worthy ideal? Whatever it is that you're, ultimately in this business to achieve. Are you growing and progressing in that direction? Are you on track or are you not? And it's only you who can define what it is you're doing this for. I can't define that for you, but you can. And I'm just excited for what I have to share in the future here. There's times there's a lot of things and goals I've accomplished my first 10 years in the real estate business that 10 years ago, I don't think I would have ever dreamed of, as crazy as it might sound. Like being able to drive what I want on a daily basis. Like, I don't even really drive on a daily basis, but I have, this was on my vision board right here. That I could literally pull it up from probably 6+ years ago. I had a white with black wheels, red calipers, red interior, Cayenne Turbo S on my vision board. It's in my garage now. This is my dream SUV. When I got started in the business in 2015, this was my exact dream SUV. This was never a dream, to have a 911 turbo, incredible spec car. We'll flip it around and see, 1, 2, 3, boom. So I didn't envision this 10 years ago, but I've learned to dream bigger in the process, as crazy as it might sound. But my point is, what you see today, this is not where it started. I did not have a car when I started in real estate. As crazy as that might sound, what happened was I thought I was gonna become a full-time day trader. And I made, at one point early on, not knowing what I didn't know, I made more money than I ever had in my life very early on. One of my first months day trading markets, I made $10,000 a month. This was while I was a full-time student getting my degree. And I thought I was on track. It's like, if I can do that for a month, I can make 6 figures and do it from behind my computer. It's like playing a video game. But come to find out, I didn't know as much as I thought I did. And just as quickly as I made it, even more quickly it seemed, I lost that and then some. But I didn't know what to do. It was the worst thing because I had been on my own as an adult, and I was very proud of the fact that I was living on my own, had my own place, my own car, paying my own bills. And I quickly went from a point where I thought I had it made, can make 6 figures for me playing what felt like a video game, to not knowing how I was gonna pay my bills in 2 months. And having to sell a car that I loved at that point, BMW 335i, E92 coupe, 6-speed. My puppy's coming to say hi. Say hi to my puppy. Come here, Duke. This is Duke. He is the newest member, and he's not ready for the camera right now. It's okay, we'll meet him later. And but I had to sell that car. So literally, I kid you not, I was going through the licensing process, and I had to move back into my parents' house. The last thing I ever wanted to do in my life was move back into my parents' house. I was humbled. I had to start over. I had failed as an adult. I had to sell my 6-speed E92 335i coupe, best car I had in my life up to that point. I loved it. And I was starting fresh in real estate. Didn't have my own place, didn't have my own car, honestly didn't really have the means to pay my own bills, so I opened up a credit card, and somehow they gave me a $10,000 limit. I'm not an advocate for I'm not saying what to do or what not to do, but for me, that credit card is how I paid my expenses my first few months in the business and was able to keep at it and put my best foot forward. And I was full-time in real estate. And maybe I'll share more with you about what came of that journey in the future, but I share all that to say what you see is not where I started. So while I am starting to document it from this point on, I want you to know that this is coming up on 10 years in the making. A lot of lessons have taken me longer to learn than it really should take one to learn. And I believe with technology, with the ability you have to get insights from people actually out in the field doing it, you know, for me and perhaps other agents in my group who have done a lot more in a shorter amount of time than I ever have, who I'm encouraging to share more on their journeys. You know, I think that's gonna be stuff available for you that if you're just following along and maybe you just aspire to have more in your life, but you're gonna have more of the firsthand insights to actually build what it is you envision from here on out. So, like I said, if you don't take anything else away from this, I hope that you take away the fact that everyone starts where they are. It's unlikely that conditions are ideal for you to start working on whatever it is you envision as far as being your bigger opportunity or, you know, a place that you can actually grow and become more of who it was you wanted to be. But you got to start at it with where you are, regardless of where that is. But for me, that's right here, right now with vlogging, as I'm coming up on my 10th year in the game in real estate. And I hope that by doing that, that some of the insights I share will actually be helpful and valuable for you to get closer to where you ultimately want to go and become more of who it is you want to become, and hopefully add more of what it is into your garage that you would like ultimately. But my name is Tyler Roicki. Follow me on social media if you got an Instagram, and if you don't, just make sure that you follow me along the journey here. I'd love to see you in the comment section. And until next time, I'll see you soon. I'll see you on the next vlog.